The Rams and the Seahawks play in Week 16 of the NFL, and it could pretty much decide their season. I'm going to dive into the game and some plays and player props that you should know for tomorrow night. So let's dive right in, talking Thursday Night Football, Week 16. I tweeted this out the other day. I can't believe it's already Week 16, almost the end of the season already. It just goes by so quick, and I honestly don't want it to end. So gonna have to hold on to these last couple games, and the playoffs are always fun to watch and always exciting to get into. So we'll obviously be able to enjoy that as well. But breaking down Rams Seahawks, so they did play in Week 11, and the Rams did win that game by 2 points. It was in Los Angeles, so obviously weather wasn't a concern. It was a pretty neutral-ish environment. Obviously, lots of fans travel to Los Angeles, and also it's indoor. I'm assuming. I believe it is. This is a little different. Over under is 44.5, so pretty low, especially for a Rams and a Seahawks team who are scoring a bunch of points this season. And the Seahawks are actually favored by 1.5. Depending on where you look, they're favored, but it's pretty much a pick 'em. The Seahawks currently have the fourth best overall defense. They also have given up the second fewest total touchdowns this season, only 26. That's through the air and then on the ground as well. But I think this game could play out a little differently, just because it's expecting to be bad weather. It's also in a colder environment, so definitely a different situation. But like I said here, so last game between the two teams, the Rams defense kind of outplayed Seattle, actually. Darnold threw 4 interceptions, I believe, in that game. They only scored, I think, 19 points. So it was pretty rough. And most of their points and yardage came on the ground. I believe Jackson Smith and Jigba did have a decent game, but Charbonnet and then Kenneth Walker were pretty impactful as well. But like I said previously, this game is in Seattle. Rain is expected in this game, I believe. So it's going to be a very different game atmosphere. Previous matchup, Los Angeles did win by 2. We'll get into who I think has the upper hand, but there is a couple injuries to look out for as well. Devontae Adams is doubtful. I don't think he's going to suit up in that game. And then Puka left last game but came back. So there's a couple injuries to look for on the Rams side. Not so much Seattle. I think they're pretty healthy. I'm not sure about their offensive line or defense as much as I am their offensive starters. Another point to add for that last game, Kenneth Walker and Kyren Williams both did have pretty good games. They both found the end zone. I believe just both scored once. But the ground game was definitely a factor. And I think with the game being in Seattle, being colder, and then obviously some rain expected, I think that could play into it as well and lead to more running from not just the Rams, but also Seattle as well. So just a couple plays for the game that I like and player props. Looked into it a little bit yesterday and this morning. I think I'm going to lean Rams to win the game. I know it's on the road in a tough environment, but the last game, the Rams defense really showed up and had Darnold's number. He just didn't look good, threw 4 interceptions, no touchdowns in that one. And I think this game could be low scoring, focused heavily on the ground. And I do like the Rams backfield much better. Kyren and I'm blanking, Blake Corum for the Rams. I feel like they're just a much better duo than Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. But I do expect there to be lots of action in the run game for both teams. I do have Kyren Williams and Zach Charbonnet, both as props I do like. So I'll start with Kyren. I'm just going to take straight rushing over 54.5. It may have changed slightly, but it was at 54.5 when I checked last. He did run for 91 yards in his previous matchup against Seattle. With the rain and the weather and Devontae Adams probably out of this game, I think it sets up pretty nice for the Rams' run game. Now, whether that's Blake Corum more or Kyren Williams, I'm unsure about, but I thought this was a pretty low total for Kyren Williams, and I don't think they'll completely go away from him. I know it's been a little bit of a shared backfield, but I think Kyren Williams still has the edge in that backfield, so I like over 54.5. I think he's also cleared this number in most of his last 5 games. I'm not exactly sure how much, but obviously cleared it when playing Seattle in his previous matchup. And then I'll skip down here just because I was talking about the running backs to Zach Charbonnet. I really think that Seattle is kind of going away from Kenneth Walker being the dominant back in the backfield. And I think Zach Charbonnet will get some more work. He also had a pretty good game last time they played and caught a pass for, I believe, 10 yards as well. So I'm going to take the over of his rushing plus receiving at 37.5. Now, his rushing total is 35.5. Could be different depending on where you look, but it was 35.5. Only a two yardage gap between his rushing and then rushing plus receiving. He did have a reception and has a reception, I believe, in 2 of his past 5 games. And he's also cleared this total of 37.5 in 3 of 5 past games. One was against the Rams in their previous matchup too. So I thought this was a pretty good angle, pretty good play. Like I said here, it's only a 2 yardage difference between the rushing and then rushing plus receiving. And it's kind of low risk, high reward. If he catches a pass and runs for a few yards, even if it's 5 yards, it still makes a difference that we had the rushing plus receiving, considering it's only a 2 yardage gap. And then only receiver that I'm going to go with for right now is Colby Parkinson for the Rams. I'm going to take the over of 3.5 receptions for him. I believe Adams is going to be out of the game, and even if Adams was playing, Parkinson has cleared his number in 3 of 4 past games. He's had 4 receptions in 3 of those. I don't believe it was against the Rams. He might have had like 3 receptions against the Rams, or 4. I'm not exactly sure if one of those games was against Seattle. Against Seattle. But if Adams is not playing, he's definitely going to be a factor in the passing offense. He could be the second or third read for Matthew Stafford. So I think that's where I stand with the Rams passing offense. But I do like all these plays. I'll definitely have a parlay for Thursday. That'll probably come Thursday afternoon before the game. And it'll for sure have 1 or 2 of these player props in that parlay. We'll just see what looks the best, what kind of odds I can get, and then we'll throw something together for Thursday night. Now, this game definitely does affect the NFC, I guess NFC in general, but also the NFC West. I think the winner of this game probably just wins the division, or at least has control of the division. In Week 17, we'll see who they play. So the Rams play the Falcons, which they will win that game. And then Seattle plays the Panthers, which I'm assuming they'll win that game. And then in Week 18, it's Rams-Cardinals, 3-11 Cardinals team. And then Seattle plays the 49ers. So that could be interesting too. If Seattle does win tomorrow night, though, I would bet. Well, they're not going to rest starters. I wonder if the 49ers might rest starters because they can't win the division, and then if they can't improve if they're already in the playoffs and can't improve their seed, then they might bench guys. But Anyway, winner of this game kind of controls their own destiny. And if it stays how it is now, you're either getting the 1 seed or the 5th seed in the division or in the playoffs. So it definitely matters a lot. You're either getting a bye or you're playing a pretty good team in the first round of the playoffs. So it's probably, I want to say, a must-win game if you want to go make a run in the playoffs, at least if you want to get some rest and get a bye. So it's definitely a big game, and it's kind of fun. Like, we don't usually get these big games, especially so late in the season, that really come down to like the division winner. So should be a fun one. Like I said earlier, though, the over-under is kind of low, so not expecting many points, which kind of stinks. But really probably is because of the weather, cold, rainy, and the injuries as well. Like I said, I don't think Devontae Adams is going to play. Darnold has looked really bad against the Rams defense, especially last time they played. Here's a good injury report. So, hamstring Adams didn't practice. And then I guess there is a offensive lineman that didn't practice for Seattle. So that's something to consider as well. But, overall should be a really good game. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully those player props help you out for tomorrow. Like I said, I'll have a parlay out tomorrow. I'm excited about that one. I also have NBA. If you're watching this right now, I have an NBA parlay out too on my Twitter. It's just Nolan Klein Bets. Same with YouTube. Make sure to follow, subscribe, like the post, like the video. Thank you guys so much for the support recently on the channel. I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy doing it. So happy about that, and hopefully you have a great night and a great Thursday night football matchup, hopefully.